Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2022 CDC Continental Cup Tour Finals Championship, live from New York City.
Gentlemen, on behalf of the Championship Darts Corporation, it's a very warm welcome to this, the 2022 Continental Cup Tour Finals Championship. And we're here in New York City! Played over the best of 9 legs, we introduce our first 2 players to the stage. Let's welcome, first of all, from Buffalo, New York, it is Doug, No Name, Bame! And we now welcome back to this stage the man that reached the final 12 months ago. Newfoundland's The Truth, Jacob Taylor!
Well, hello everyone, I'm Sean Green, your play-by-play commentator for this first match of the 2022 CDC Continental Cup Tour Finals Championship, presented by Cosmo Darts. And I'm honored to introduce my co-commentator for this match, 3-time world champion, John Part. John, this match features Doug Bame making his debut at the Continental Cup, going up against The Truth, Jacob Taylor. 3-time winner this season on tour, and in his debut at the Continental Cup last year, he finished second to Jeff Smith. Taylor has to be a heavy favorite in this one, right?
Yeah, he really is a quality dart player, produces a consistent high standard, and gets the results because of it. Really, with Doug, I think his experience at Madison Square Garden North American Championship, I think it's something he can draw on with himself to have played in that sort of atmosphere and move forward and try and become a star himself. And I think he should just worry about trying to win legs, not so much try to out-average Jake. Jake's pretty steady, and really, I think if Jacob gets out there and he gets the kind of scoring he's capable of, he really becomes hard to live with. So, yeah, for Doug, he's got to really just focus on taking his chances when he gets them.
The one thing that we've seen from Doug is that he does seem to show up in those big moments when needs to, like the U.S. Darts Masters qualifiers. He came out of nowhere. No Name is the perfect nickname for him. He wears a plain shirt. It's pretty awesome that he has made it to this on his debut year at the for the CDC tour. As we see him getting started here, Jake Taylor has probably one of the steadiest throws of any player that's currently playing. Doug kind of has that big drawback.
You know, when you start the day, you're the first match in an event. You really just hope to get out there and right into your scoring groove, but it's difficult. You know, you got to find the range. It's always different, no matter what event you're at, from the practice room to the main stage. And they're hoping to get going well. And first ton there for Jake, and a good adjustment into the treble. 2 of them.
Yeah.
Really good-looking visit that time. It started on a 1, but he fixed it pretty well.
Yeah, I always say that 121 is either a great score if the one's the first dart, or it's a terrible score if it's the last dart.
Well, yeah, the last dart is so disappointing. But there is the comfort that at least you got a good score. Depends on the timing as well. Sometimes you really need that third one. It cost you if you're trying to get back in a leg or something. Oh, our first 180. That didn't take too long.
No, it did not. And it is not a surprise that it comes from Jake Taylor. He has 59 of them this season on tour. And I believe that puts him in fourth place overall on that.
Jacob requires 61.
Chance for a 14-dart leg with a double 8 here. Good marker, really.
45.
Just on the outside, but he will return with Doug on a bogey, sitting on 162.
Yeah, I think with Jake there, he did the right thing. Miss outside, keep it as large a good double as you can when your opponent's not on a finish.
92. Jacob requires.
So Jake comes back with 16. The first dart going in seems to calm you down a little bit, the nerves a little bit, and he does not get it. Chases around the board, and Doug with an outside shot here to steal the first leg.
Went for the 10, so 20 in the tops.
Oh.
The fatal missed big single. And we see it every level. It does happen, and it's a great opportunity squandered. Jake is quick to punish with the double 1.
Yeah, Jake Taylor is one of the nicest guys off the dartboard. On the dartboard, he's a killer.
I think he'll be happy that he held his ground. Leveling on the 180 score, and he's a little mad at himself still for having missed that single 20 to leave a chance at tops.
Well, what a bounce back to.
Well, that's what you got to do. You have to use a negative as a positive in a way to inspire yourself, to motivate yourself.
96.
Get angry a bit.
Absolutely. Well, both these guys have that consistency in their demeanor. So the crowd's not going to really throw them off. Those types of rounds, Doug's going to be quick to forget it. You see him right back in the trip. How about two of them in a leg? Doug Bame, the no-name, making a name for himself right now.
Yeah, well, he didn't get his 18th dart for a double because he missed a single, but this time he could get an 11-dart leg quite easily.
It's going to be double 16. And there it is, 11 dart. Hold a throw for Doug Bame. It is our very first match of the 2022 Continental Cup, brought to you by Cosmo Darts. And it's 1-1 scoreline, race to 5. A bit of a quicker format than the tour was all year.
Yeah, well, some of the lower rounds perhaps, but yeah, basically first to 6 is the one you're more likely familiar with. But I think with the pressure of this too, it makes it feel like it's even less if you're on the losing end, maybe.
If you have a few legs off in a row, you can find yourself out of this real quick.
It feels like you didn't get much of an opportunity, but of course you did. This match has a feel it's quite even to it.
So far, look, the averages don't say that, but the actual score line and what seems to be just the fight the both players have is pretty even. The 11 darter is going to up that average pretty quickly.
Well, yeah, and the truth of Jake's first leg was it could have been a lot better. He ended up double 1, not going to get up to an average there, but they pretty much have each served up a good leg on the throw.
85.
85 there from Jake does put him on a finish, but Doug can put a lot of pressure on this 136. It's going to be a lot of pressure.
Wow, this
Maximum pressure?
silky smooth.
135.
That's all he really needs to do. And Taylor's got to be feeling that.
And Jake's darts sit very flat, so that dart above the treble is actually not what he's looking for there. It kind of blocks him on that. Tops. Oh, bent the wire.
Wow.
Twice.
Yeah, that's painful.
Require 95.
Well,
He didn't really get his score down too well in the last visit, and it's costing him here as he went for 25 in bull and hit an 8. Just become a bit of a horror show in the setup phase. Even the first leg, his first time on throw was in the doubles phase. He got away with it, but I don't think he's getting away with this. Double 10.
that dart's not going to help him very much. It does not help him at all.
Jake requires 52.
Reprieve here for Jake Taylor.
Game shot
He knows he got away with something there.
I would argue he's gotten away with 2 legs so far here.
The thing for Doug is he'll be thinking, you know, I'm playing well, and he'll be a little mad at himself once again that he didn't actually find a way to hit the double there.
Another great adjustment there from Doug, the 1-2-1.
I think at this point he realizes he's outscoring an opponent that on paper should be outscoring him.
Absolutely.
That's got to be reassuring.
Yeah, there's about a 6-point difference in their average. Oh. Doug is actually from Buffalo, New York, so he's playing in his home state. I know that playing at the U.S. Darts Masters was really cool for him to be at Madison Square Garden, being from Buffalo. And then Jake is actually from the furthest away, I believe.
Hard to say on that.
Forrester's Point.
Yeah, it's a long way away. Yeah.
He's a shrimp fisherman.
You're halfway to England when you go there. That's what he really wants, play in England too. You know, like he's been over there at Q School and stuff. He's an ambitious dart player, Jake. As Doug is too. We found out.
Absolutely.
83.
Jake Taylor as the 2 seed is kind of under the radar as a 2 seed. A 3-time winner this year. You would think that he would be one of those players that you first think of, and he hasn't been.
Yeah, it's tough. He didn't qualify for that North American or U.S. Masters, and I think
Game shot to
he's got a 16 level, but yeah, he might be a little frustrated that he hasn't had quite as many opportunities generated by his good play as maybe he could have. And you still want to stay positive, though. Just know you're throwing very well and continue to try and grind out some bigger chances, bigger opportunities. And certainly, I'd love to fix not winning last year. He was runner-up, and he'd like to come in and take the title. And you know, Jeff Smith, who beat him last year, he's not here. He's on the tour in England. So, I guess he could see it as door open for him.
Absolutely. But he does have a few players in his way still, with Dave Cameron, who has been the other 3-time winner on tour this year. I mean, and the seniors Masters champion. He has come alive, and it really has been his doubles that I think have separated him from years past of David Cameron. He has a 43% checkout percentage. I believe he is leading the tour this year in that, and with the scoring power that he has, that's a scary combination.
Yeah, he's been overplaying BDO World Championships, now WBF. But in the days, he played many of them, along with Jeff Smith as well. Jeff seemed to click a little better in those earlier days, get better results. We kind of knew David had it in him, but
look at that!
Just 174 has really created yet another opportunity because of that missed bull.
Wow.
That was not the best start at a bull.
No, a bit outside there, but double 18 is not going to be double 16. Not a bad miss.
That's a great miss.
And he gets it on dart 3. Finally makes Jake pay for a mistake. And Doug now up 3-2, breaking the throw of Jake Taylor and taking the darts.
Yeah, just 2 legs away from a victory here. You know, if he holds his throw, he's got Jake in a real pickle.
Well, this would be a huge upset to start off the day.
Yeah, and there's been a little bit of sloppiness on Taylor's behalf, but at the other hand, you know, Bames, he's just come in and really just played very well.
He's living up to the moment here. I think that...
So you said that. He's good at elevating under the spotlight. And you know, we touched on the fact he was at Madison Square Garden. I think he has a comfort level and a belief.
Absolutely. He mentioned to me, I asked him about Madison Square Garden, and he said, the thing that I liked the most is that I did not feel nervous getting on that stage. I didn't believe him, yeah. But he seems to be performing very well here. Yeah, of course, drew Michael Smith in the first round of that U.S. Darts Masters, so that doesn't help when you losing the first round to the eventual champion.
9.
Yeah, that's when Michael Smith was really hot playing on the PDC Tour events and obviously winning the Masters, the U.S. Masters. But, there was no shame in that loss.
No.
As you say, that's a tough draw.
Oh, Jake, a big 140 to lead the first look at a finish. Outside shot, but a shot nonetheless.
And a good response. He needs to get his setup play better, though. It's not always about taking out the 146. In fact, he doesn't have to. But let's say Doug had left 170 even. I still think you got to just make sure you get a decent score. See there, he didn't get under 100 from 146, and that's really been the weakest part of his effort in this match.
Do you think he's overthinking a little bit?
Could be a little. Obviously, he's been pressured. Doug's pressured him by playing well. Again,
Great setup from Doug.
yeah, I mean, it's his throw and everything. So this is an opportunity to break, but you need to get one big treble, and he doesn't.
No, and he only leaves 73. So Doug, a shot here to take a 4-2 lead, one leg away from the title, from the match. There it is, big dart from Doug. Jake needs to win 3 in a row to stay in this.
At least he has the comfort of starting the leg. The first one he needs to do to stay alive, but
No
really,
big trouble to start.
no. And is this where Doug starts thinking a little too much about the position he's in and seeing the door open ahead of him, and you just want to pound in a big score, and you just, instead of executing by nature, you're trying to force something to happen, and it doesn't always work out too well.
You can almost see it on his face in his first throw, but that's a great start to the second. There you go. Yeah, give him a little fist bump. There's some pressure on him right now. Up 4-2. I don't know if he thought he was going to be in this position.
Yeah, well, and Jake's 9th dart is the first big treble, scoring treble, and the leg, and he's a little bit ahead, but it won't last here.
Doug has performed very well, put a lot of pressure on Jake,
Yeah.
but Jake is going to look back and be very upset with his performance, averaging 81 right now versus a 90 average that he had all season.
And it's not just the missed doubles he had in leg one, but generally he's been outscored. And
absolutely, which is not what typically happens to Jake Taylor. And we're seeing it here again.
And it's all full credit to Bame. He's absolutely come in and executed. He hasn't allowed himself to be the victim of the scoring. He's been the attacker. And this could wrap it up.
Went the 19 route on 134.
98.
And if you haven't been scoring well, 120 just seems a little harder to get that treble. Oh, he gets it, though. First dart to stay alive. Tops.
It's a good dart, too. Just drags it low. Doug for the match. Double 18. Gets it on dart 3.
And the match, Doug
The
Bame.
15 seed takes out the 2 seed in our first match of the CDC Continental Cup 2022. Wow, bud.
Yeah, that was a great performance. And Bame is definitely going to ruin the no-name thing if he keeps doing that. He's there.
Maybe it's the name after that.
Well, he's got the game, and that's what he showed there. And look at that score line. I mean, it's not just an upset. It's a pretty much he destroyed him.
It's the type of match that where our next match features Jim Long and Chuck Pulio. He'll play. The winner of that will play against Doug in the first match of the evening session tonight. They're looking at it thinking Doug's here to play.
Well, yeah, there'll be some measure of relief for the top seed win out, but then again, it's not because, hey, the guy that beat him is did everything and maybe more that they might have expected Taylor to do there. There's not much comfort there between Jim and Chuck about who they might play, but of course they're more worried about playing each other first and foremost. I mean, you got to get through that match to get there, and they know that the standard is out there and the bar's been set.
Absolutely, and they're there to play. We got the gentleman Jim Long taking on Chucky Pipes, Chuck Pulio, coming up next. Stay tuned. We will be right back with more from the 2022 Continental Cup in New York City.